Weaving Derrick Duchovney, as read by Deckard Cain. He has silenced the fragile and succulent. Class was a mistweaver. He was 34 years of age. His eyes were blue, and he was 6 feet tall. He was athletic, and he cannot remember his birthplace. In his residence, well, he roams. The house name was Duchovney, and he had tattoos of a stick and poke heart on his wrist. His nickname was Derrick, Deer, and Der. He had piercings on his left eyebrow. He was more boring than he was adventurous. Well, he was more adventurous than he was boring. He was more uncaring than he was kind. He was more self-centered than he was open. 50-50, they say. And he was growing and planted. He was cautious and impulsive at the same time. Now, having traveled many decades through land after land, day after day, the nights got longer as did the days. His eyes grew heavier, and his baggage multiplied. Literally speaking, he carried less and less. His mind would travel at the speed of light, thoughts seeming to race each other, racing everywhere. He's a tired, beaten-up, worn-out, middle-aged man. He's fought alongside members of his family and many, many more. For years upon years, he's lost those closest to him and those furthest. Slain his closest enemies, watched his closest ones been slain by said enemies, and stood on the sidelines boasting the morals of those in battle. When you see a monk, you think chi, energy, serene, and maybe just overall something of the calming essence. None of the above goes along with it being any being of this man. He was a selfless monk, never letting a person, feelings, or anything for that matter ever get in his way. He was a man of the mists, using his weaving to heal and revive wounded and fallen around him. Now, at a first glance, he is very revealing. He doesn't wear the thickest armor, leaving most of himself exposed for all of Azeroth to see. He finds it more appealing, as others do. He's got long, gnarly toenails exposed. He is currently looking for a woman to clip them off with her pearly whites as he leaves himself fully exposed, watching you chow down on his feet like you're eating the brownie from a kid's cuisine. He wouldn't oppose to the touch of a Fuda, perhaps. He loves to unveil and discover new things. That charming man, if you play your cards right, you might get to go on a date with a charismatic charmer. Who could resist that bloody bandana holding back his hair while he goes through his days working hard? The grind never ends. You'll want to stick your nose in between his balls while his dick sweat drips into your nostril. Nothing arouses you nor the man more than grimy, blimy, dirty, stench-filled genitalia. He's disgusting. Ask him about the dirt under his fingernails and toenails and the toe jam and mold he grows on his feet to later let the ladies lick and suck it off. Dear God. History of cock. He's quick to become aroused. Almost anything turns him on. He's been arrested by the gods of Storm Wind, Iron Forge, Silver Moon, etc., etc., before public masturbation. Many women and men around Azeroth seem to leave themselves openly exposed, breast and balls just as Derrick tries to do himself, and within mere seconds his cock bursts through his tight, thin loincloth. Sometimes a sticky yet scrumptious white substance will appear. Jesus Christ. Saturdays. An openly sad and lonely man waiting for the toll to take its turn and impact him in some severe, unnecessary, but extreme, yet again. Living in fear almost always, he handles it quite well. He has no trouble making companions and taking care of himself. He grooms himself daily, shaves his pits every other day. He isn't fond of body hair, it rather disgusts him. On a man or woman, he goes to get his pubic area and legs waxed weekly. He brushes his teeth and flosses 3 times a day, never having a single void-filled cavity. He uses Pantene and his hair is silky smooth. It flows elegantly in the breeze. All-around appearance. He's got blue eyes that pierce right through your weak and damaged soul. They suck you in and spit you right back out. They throw you hard on the ground. His eyes say the most about him, more than the scars he physically and mentally receives in battle. No, he doesn't have any faggy scars, from his eyes to his chin, like every other wounded soldier found around these parts of town. He's got 3 large lion claw marks on his back from one of his enemy's pet bears, a gunshot wound in the front and back of his shoulder blade, and many more to be discovered if you get the man undressed and in bed. He loves to be asked about them. He even may have a PTSD episode when you do and strangle you. Holy fuck. Currently, having recently attended a funeral for a fallen brothel Eskimo brethren, he has become very low and usually travels around on a sad hunch. Seems to be an experienced role player. Anyway,